All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Okay. So we're both sitting here?
Yeah, so you can sit right here. I got you a pillow because every time I set this up, I'm never level with it. All right. There we go. All right, all the cameras are running. So, ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. All right, everybody. So, let me explain the premise of this video to you guys today. So, this little this video is different than anything we've ever done. You can see no intro; it's just raw. Anyway, so I'm here with Alan, the lawn care nut today. You guys saw we just got done doing a 2-minute lawn tip episode, and some of you who watched the last vlog, you guys know that I actually did a flashback to like 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was some cool clips out
Right?
front there in my old house.
Yeah, dude, that was so cool looking back at that. Just remembering the times we had as neighbors. It was so awesome. And on that last weekend we had together, what do we do? Remember what we did in the driveway?
I remember having wine out back on the deck.
Anyway, he doesn't seem to remember. That's okay. That's why we document all this stuff on video. I guess that's what happens with age, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So anyway, we did this series of video. We were going to start this little series. I guess we never really
Oh,
followed
that's
through
right.
it.
We did the neighbor session.
Yeah, we
okay.
sat in the driveway for
Yeah.
like 20 minutes. It was like a rough drive. Never made air, and for many reasons. But you know what? We're here to recreate that today. So, Alan, how you doing, man?
I'm good, bro.
All
So
right.
I have a topic I actually want to talk about because
Okay.
it's one that not only have you mentioned to me, but other folks have too, and that is you know, we kind of named you Jake the Lawn Kid. So for those of you guys that don't know, I'll just go into it real quick. So I don't remember.
Go ahead.
Okay, I don't remember what year it was, but Jake started kind of popping into my videos. And this was back before really anybody cared about my channel or
Yeah.
anything. I think I had 20,000 subscribers maybe, or I don't even remember, but it wasn't like a thing. But I would do videos or whatever, and Jake would sit up. We have, what's that? There's like a electrical power unit out there, that big green box.
Yeah.
There's like, and he would
Yeah.
sit on this big green box.
I would just
You'll have
watch.
to B-roll that.
Yeah.
And he'd like watch me doing my videos and stuff. And every once in a while, he would run down the sidewalk to be in one or whatever. And eventually, I was like,
Yeah.
well, and then you would always steal my sprinklers.
Ah, yeah.
All
I did
the
that. I
time.
did that to everybody on the block.
Yeah, I think probably all the sprinklers I ever owned are probably still in your garage.
Yeah.
And so eventually, I was like, Jake, why don't you get in a video? And so we made a couple videos. Like my favorite video we ever made was the Toro Recycler versus the
Oh,
Super
mine
Recycler.
too. I've
You know,
referenced that so many times.
Yeah,
in the last
I thought
4
that
years.
was just a fun video, and I mean, you were like when I was like, Jake, what do you see? And you're like, well, you know, I can see that, you know. And I was like, dude, he's like, got it. I was like, I knew you had something there. So when we decided, like, I think me and I talked to your dad, the Silverback. I was like, we should encourage Jake to do his own channel. And so I was like, I want to brand him. I want you to have a brand. And I thought, and I don't remember how many years ago this was, but you were very young, and I was like, we'll call him Jake the Lawn Kid.
It was 6 years ago. I
6
think.
years ago, yeah. I mean, at
Yeah.
first I was calling you Lawn Kid Jake, and I was like, that doesn't really,
It
that
doesn't
ring.
sound great.
Yeah, so Jake the Lawn Kid, that rings, it
Right.
resonates, right?
Mhm.
I think you've done a good job with that brand. So since then, as you're now over 18 and you're not a kid and you're taller than me, as you like to point out, is you're thinking, well, I'm not a kid anymore.
Right.
So
right.
how do I continue with the Jake the Lawn Kid name? I want you, and what I want you to understand is that there is nothing wrong with always being branded as young,
Absolutely.
especially in today's world where young people more and more and more have this ability and this desire to build big things. Like when I was a kid, we were taught, you know, that when you're young, you don't know anything. You're not that you're not worth anything, but what you're supposed to do is go get a corporate job and
Yep.
be junior in that corporation and learn and take in everything you can from your mentors. And then once you get into your 30s, then finally you'll have some sort of reason to have your own voice or speak your own. That's how we were taught.
Right.
It's not like that anymore. Now it's different. We've encouraged young people that, hey, as soon as you are 15 or 16 or whatever age you are, you can do anything. And I think that's good. I don't have any problem with that. We could talk about millennials and my feelings on millennials and all that. You're Gen Z, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually respect that. I actually like that. I'm Gen X, so we have a lot of the same misgivings that you guys do.
Yeah. Can I just go on?
Yeah, I'm talking a lot.
Can
Sorry.
I just go on a tangent real quick? Everyone that meets me, this is hilarious. So kind of like you were saying, when I was younger, I had like that, I don't know what it was, that creative being inside me to just like talk like I'm freaking 30 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
Like people are like, whoa, how old are you again? There were people who thought I was married and had kids when I talked to them. Like there were customers that were like that. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm 18 years old. I live in my basement. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, listen, what was I going to say?
Just that you were creative from a young age, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
always kind of
Yeah,
you always
right.
talked as an adult. We always used to joke about that. Me and Becky would be like, "Man, Jake is such a little man," and I just think that's just the way your dad raised you. He just expected things from you.
Oh,
From
yeah,
the time
here's
you're
what I was
little.
going to say. I guess the best way to describe me is I'm like a Gen Xer trapped inside a Gen Z body. Like, that's the best way to say it. Like,
Mhm.
there's people who say I'm 18 going on 30.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I act. They're like, you're probably better than any sales rep or person we've met. I don't know. I don't want to say sales rep, but you guys get the idea.
Yeah.
I just talk a lot.
But that's a good thing, and
Yeah,
that's why.
right.
So what I'm trying to say is, though, is if you can keep your young appearance, your young brand, if you can actually keep that well into your 40s or 50s, I don't have a problem. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Absolutely
I think
not.
nowadays, what I was getting at is more times than not, young people are actually more respected in business, in life, in knowledge, just in general, than even older people are. Now, that might be a problem with society right now, but either way, there's nothing wrong with always being called the kid. And I always think of like Clint Eastwood. If you watch Clint Eastwood movies, he always calls everybody a kid. Even when Clint Eastwood was younger, in his younger days, he called everybody a kid. What are you doing, kid? And now he's like, get off my lawn, kid. You know.
Kid.
So to me, you're always going to be a kid. That's just kind
right.
of how it's always going to be, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with always having a brand that comes off as young.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't want you to get rid of it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I never want to.
All right. Because a few people have asked me that. What are you going to do now that he's not the kid anymore?
Listen, I get that question all the time, and it's funny because we did have a phone call a couple of weeks ago. I tried reaching out to you. I was like, dude, I'm 18 years old. Should I keep the name? And I thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, well, you know what? Listen, that's not what this is about. This is not changing the brand name to get more traction. Don't change it to what's traditional. But it's more so just, sticking with what I love and what I want to do and what I stand by. And I think the Lawn Kid just has, like you said, has a cool, unique ring to it. It's like, I just don't see myself changing that anytime soon.
Good.
I love the name. I love it. Plus, JTLK looks awesome. Could you imagine, like, JTLG on that sign? I couldn't. It would just, it'd be hideous.
Jake
Like,
the
just
lawn guy.
get out of here.
The other thing is, it's
No.
apparent that you're never going to be able to grow a real man beard anyway.
Oh,
so.
yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
But I do want to go back to the
Story
fact,
of my life.
the thing about it is, though, and I wanted to bring this up because so many people do, they look at young people today, Gen Z or millennials or whatever terms you want to put on it, and they think you guys are lazy, you've had your world handed to you, you've been taught that you're only a winner.
We're entitled.
You're
Yeah.
entitled, right? And so with you and what you're doing and your hustle and you're building your business and the way you're doing it, you actually prove that wrong. You actually prove that those old fuddy-duddies that say that are just negative people that really don't want to see the truth. And the truth is that when you actually, and you haven't been raised this way, your dad didn't raise you easy at all. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm saying he made you work for everything.
100%.
But in general, though, people that were raised to be winners, everybody gets a trophy and all that, that's not such a bad thing if you look at it in the right light or in the right context. So the right context is, if you think people were raised to be winners and everybody gets a trophy, then what you do is you give them opportunities to win. You say, here's what I'm going to do. You're used to being a winner. You like being a winner. Here's a job for you. Here is something to overcome. Here's something to go get. Here's something to go do. And give them an opportunity to get the win. So when they get the win, they like you because you gave them the opportunity to get the win.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I looked at when we started your YouTube channel. Let's give Jake an opportunity to get a win. And I think you've done really well. Obviously, what do you got, 26,000 subscribers now?
Almost to 30,000.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's awesome. Like, look at how many channels never hit that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is you have a real business behind this. Yeah, you're, like, way more technical than me with all this lighting and all this stuff. But but you have this, you kind of have this Gary Vaynerchuk thing going on where you actually have a business behind it. Like, I love that you've incorporated that recently, showing some of your customer lawns, and you showed one of the real old ones that you've been doing forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, I just think that is so important that you show, I'm 18 years old, I'm building this business, I'm actually out hustling. By the way, that's the other thing. Entrepreneurs, people think that, well, if I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I got to be a tech guy. I got to build apps. I got to build software. No, you are an entrepreneur building a lawn business.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people respect that the way they should. So it's important that you do that and you have those two elements going on because, man, that's going to really turn into something big.
And if, if developing an app or technology is your strong suit, here's how I look at it. You don't have to start there, right? Like maybe you want to build something around a lawn care business, right? Like look at Pete with GCI Turf, for instance. Man.
Yeah.
He started off with a big lawn. It took him 18 years to get to where he's at, right? He has a big lawn care business, but now I heard he's transitioning more into the full-time e-commerce business.
Yeah, well, so he's done a good job because he found a niche with the grass seed. What he did is he realized, this is where people don't realize Pete is a brilliant businessman.
Oh,
he comes off with that, I'm bait from GCI Turf, and all that.
Yeah, but he's brilliant.
He's an extremely smart businessman underneath that, and he realized there was a hole in the market online for grass seed. There was either the really, really expensive elite stuff that, like, you look at the price, you're like, what? Or there was the cheap stuff that's so cheap it can't really be done online because you can get it in the store so much cheaper, the shipping kills it. He came into that middle market with good quality stuff, though, that's affordable, and then he put his name on it and his marketing on it and his brand on it, and it is just taken off. Now, he obviously does income with other things, but his grass seed is really, we sell it now on Yard Mastery, too. I was like, Pete, can I please have a piece of that? He's like, well, sure you can. You can sell it, put it on there. So I don't think my imitation of Pete's that good, but anyway, yes, so that's exactly right. He went the other way. He built a traditional business, very successful, great reputation because they do top-notch work, and now he's transitioned that into a very successful online brand, which is it's great to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. Here, let me
Is it dying?
Yeah, this one gives out.
I think I gave you every camera that's pointing at us, didn't I?
You gave me this one for sure.
That's not the one. Oh, that's your.
You gave me that.
Yeah, so I did that one.
Yeah, snap it up and we can continue on. But yeah, listen. So you bought me. You didn't buy me this. You gave me this camera.
Yeah, you have all my hand-me-down.
You gave me this camera.
Yeah.
That one I bought 4 years ago.
But you bought that one because I had one of those.
Oh yeah. You influenced that purchase for sure.
I'm glad you can use this one right. I could never get it to focus on me. It always focuses on everything behind me.
No, but see how it tracks now?
It never tracked, though. It didn't do that.
Well, because
I think it looked at me and went, I'm not tracking that.
All right. What should we talk about going forward?
Well, let's talk about what you're going to do going forward. What are your plans? I mean, you're in the winter now, so you have winter planning underway.
Mm-hmm.
I guess let's ask this. How many customers do you have right now?
So let me give you the insight here. So we have 15 clients now.
Okay.
We're in the neighborhood. We're out and around the towns, you name it. And we're primarily a mowing business. We have been for the past 6 years, but thankfully for all the partnerships we've obtained over the years of growing this channel and this business, we've obtained awesome partners like Greene County Fertilizer and Toro who want to help grow that reach. And Greene County Fertilizer, I want to talk about them for a second because they fill a gap that I think is very, very valuable. So, as you guys know, they're all liquid, all everything. And I just think that's awesome for my business because it's more profitable, right? If you want to do liquid aerations, you could be in and out of there. It's less on the cost of goods per se.
Overall, so that's when I worked for True Green, we always went, so we did liquid and dry apps, but we always went to liquid as soon as we could in the season. We would do dry apps early in the year and late in the year for different reasons, and John actually addressed the late season dry app in his recent video because of leaf cover, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part at True Green, we always went liquid. Now here's why. Liquid's going to be cheaper overall. The NPK that you can get into liquid might be a little bit different, but then again, the Greene County stuff is juiced with the biostimulants to help that. So you get the same result. But the other thing about liquid is you can tank mix in then, let's say you're doing early season prodiamine pre-emergent. It is much cheaper to buy the WDG formulation and tank mix that in liquid, and then you go across the lawn one time. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you're going to do a spread and spray where you're going to spray liquid and then you're going to have to go back with granular, you're double the time. Granular's more expensive. Also, when you come into later season, dandelion bloom here is every year right around Derby Day or maybe a week and a half before or after.
That's dead on accurate.
Yeah, man, I love Derby Day. There's a smell in the air here during Derby Day that's, man, kind of missed it this year because the Derby got moved. But anyway, what I'm saying is when you have those dandelions, a lot of your lawns are going to be 100% dandelion cover.
Yep.
So if you're coming in with a liquid setup, you got your FERT in the tank. You might have a lesser amount of prodiamine because you're on your second app, and you can tank mix in, whatever you're using, 2,4-D or whatever your post-emergent weed control is, and you can do all that in one app.
Yeah, and be done.
So so you save labor.
Yeah, save
which
time.
Your two biggest costs in a spray business, I know you said your primary mowing business, but we're talking about spray. Your two biggest costs are labor and chemical.
Yep, material.
Yeah, and so your chemical cost comes way, way, way down when you do liquid. So that's why I think it's smart to build your business on liquid.
100%. And another thing, so you guys know one product that they're known for is the liquid aerate product. I
Yep.
love that product. I stand by that product 100%. And I think the main reason I like it, again, is for the reasons you mentioned.
Mhm.
But the main reason I like it too is it's a selling asset to any customer when you point it out, right? You don't have to mark sprinkler heads. It's not a liability. I guess would
Underground
be the
dog
best-
fences aren't a
Yeah,
problem.
you don't have to worry about any of that.
The other thing is, I mean, there's the DIY way to look at it, and then there's your professional way. The way you look at it professionally, people don't like aeration. Your customers don't.
Yeah.
Because it tears up their lawn. The mud poop gets everywhere.
100%.
They just don't like it. So if you can provide a product that is going to help with the soil, help with water penetration, help with carbon penetration and things like that, that doesn't cause that mess, that's a win every time.
100%.
Plus, again, let's go back to cheaper, because aeration is huge labor. It takes much longer. You can spray a 5,000 square foot lawn in 5.5 minutes. Add 2 minutes
Yeah.
to leave the bill on the door, and you're out in 7 to 8 minutes. Whereas a full aeration, by the time you load it off the truck, by the way, you have to have a trailer now for the aerator. I mean, there's so many other things. So for sure, liquid aeration is a much smarter prospect, especially if you're turning and burning and you're getting a lot of accounts done.
Yeah, 100%. And another thing I like about it too. Remember how I had that tow behind cart?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love that thing. So what's cool
Don't
about
be towing that on the highway.
right? Exactly. It's so nice because think about it. If you're starting out in your lawn care business like me, you're 18 years old, you're hustling, you want to get into this. Greene County is a great person to talk to for that. But if you have a rig similar to what I feature in the videos, it's nice because if you have like 5 lawns in the neighborhood that you want to hit up, you put all that product in there, mix it up ahead of time at the house, bam, go out there, get those lawns fertilized, and you're done.
Yeah.
Like, that's
And you don't
it.
have the capital investment. I mean, aerator's probably like $3,500.
Oh yeah.
But again, then how you get it around, and anybody that has worked for a professional company, they know that what happens with aeration is you give that to the newest guy. And what we used to say is we would say if he doesn't quit after a day of doing
Yeah,
aerations,
yeah.
he can probably make. So I like doing aeration. I like the pain. I like to get beat up from it. I still like mechanical aeration for a lot of reasons, but for sure, if you're somebody that you're not there, it's just not something you want to offer or can offer.
Yeah.
I think liquid aeration makes a really good alternative there.
And let me just make one thing clear. I'm for mechanical aeration too. I know you guys hear me talking about liquid aeration a lot now, but that's just my preference, right? It's all about preference. Like I have no problem with mechanical aeration either. It's really effective. It's really great, but I know what I like, so I just figured I would get that out there in the open.
At the end of the day, it's about results. If the
Right.
lawn looks green and it's growing
Exactly.
healthy, and
right.
I've seen people that use Greene County. That's why I back it, because I
Mhm.
see the lawns. I will tell you that I see more lawns of homeowners than probably anyone else on the internet, if I'm just really honest. And they look great. So
You know what? Just to back that up a little bit, I think I might put it in this video. I'll put some shots up right now showing you guys the 2 lawns that I treated. Remember how burnt they looked in the video?
yeah,
Yeah, because I did them on a hot summer day before we had rain coming for 2 days, right? So they were looking a little stressed. Probably shouldn't have done it anyway. But, when you're a business owner, you just got to do things when you can, right? So I mentioned that like 5 different times. I was like, let me show you it rained, right? So that I'm not treating dry lawns. So I showed that. And here we are about 2 weeks later. I'm going to flash a couple pictures on the screen just to show you guys what these lawns look like. I'll take you around.
oh,
and
they
show 'em.
popped. Yeah, I want to go see them
Oh,
later.
dude, they popped like crazy.
Well, that's the thing about if you're using the 1801 Green
Oh,
Punch.
yeah, I love that
It's
product.
50% slow release, I believe. So you're good anyway. That's the other thing. People worry about, am I going to burn? Am I going to burn? Listen,
Don't worry about it.
you're not going to burn anything. Just,
Yeah, it's just grass, man.
yeah,
It's grass.
it'll come back.
Right.
So good stuff. What else are we going to talk about? Is that enough?
I think so. We're about 20 minutes in.
They're probably done hearing from us now.
Yeah. There we go. So that's all we got for you guys today for, I think, episode 1 of Neighbor Sessions.
Episode 1 of Neighbors. We'll do the next one over Zoom.
Yeah, we'll do the next one. I don't know when and where we'll do the next one, but it'll be cool to continue this on. But
Awesome.
Yeah, Alan, thanks a lot for coming on. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, Brash.
So
Should we do a
always-
thrower down?
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead.
All right, see if we can just rattle it off like we used to.
All right,
All
yeah.
right. Thanks for watching episode 1 of Neighbor Sessions. I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut.
And I'm Jake the Lawn Kid.
Throw her down!
Throw her down.
Ah, we messed it up.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to. Well, I didn't know how to get the transition in
Yeah.
there. All right, let's try it again. Ready? Thanks for watching episode 1 of Neighbor Sessions. I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut.
I'm Jake the Lawn Kid.
Throw her down! And hope for the best.
See you in the next video.